I'm here with Mickey Fault, the mercenary geologist. He flew in from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I flew in from Vancouver. And Mickey, what are you excited about at the show this year?
Well, I'm excited the fact of how gold has moved over the last week.
Right.
And commodities in general.
Is the gold move real, or is this another fake out?
That's hard to know. I think one of the things that have occurred is that perhaps hedge funds have seen the bottom.
Right.
And so there's been a lot of physical buying, especially in the ETF.
Okay.
Now,
so some big money moving in potentially?
There looks like big money moving in. And I think also what happened was there was a short squeeze, because you probably got that thing from Goldman Sachs in the last 2 or 3 weeks, how negative they were in gold. And I think that's because they saw that short squeeze coming, and they're trying to get all their investors into gold at the time.
That's right.
So, but regardless, the gold move looks real to me, because normally we see a bump in gold in January. It's only 20-year record of gold. You can buy gold on December 31st and sell it sometime the last week of January and make money.
Yeah, last year, same thing, right?
Yeah, well, not only that, we normalized this on a 20-year period, and year after year in both bull and bear markets, you would return a significant amount of money. If you bought in the summer doldrums and sold the last week of January, you make 7% on your money annualized.
Right. So
Just
some nice moves in the golds. What other commodities you like, Mickey?
Now? I'm starting to look at copper again, because I think the supply-demand fundamentals in copper have remained compelling. We've seen a lowering in demand over the last year, but it's still 2.5% more copper. So the idea is 85 million more people on the planet every year. Everybody wants electricity. If you look at the copper growth annualized since 1900, probably averages 3.5%.
Right.
So what we did during the boom in the mid 2000s to early 2010s is we were a little bit too successful. We put too much metal on the market.
So is that the only thing keeping the price down, the oversupply situation?
Yeah, I think
how long is that going to take to
copper market?
Well, the
copper market's always intimately balanced. So I would hope that we've seen a rise in copper, and it will continue, because at $2.30 copper, there's a lot of people in the world not making money, and that production's going to come off.
Right.
So I'm
bullish.
Probably in the midterm bullish on copper.
Yeah.
It's a bit crowded here, and that's
hey, that's a good sign, right?
That's a good
That's a sign of the times, isn't it?
PDAC.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I think the real problem we have with commodities worldwide right now is we still have a glut of oil.
Yeah.
And I don't care what anybody's going to tell you. Oil runs the world. The world runs on oil.
For now.
And all this turmoil in the markets and turmoil in commodities, I think, has really been driven or controlled, if you will, by a glut of oil, and we still have that glut of oil.
And that could take a while to work through, right?
Exactly.
We've seen some crazy things in the Middle East with ISIS and everything else.
Right.
Major oil producing area, and hasn't affected the price so far.
Yep. So we got a nice bump in oil. I think it closed the week at somewhere $34. I called the bottom at oil at 26 and change.
Yeah.
I tested that.
Yeah.
Once, twice, it's bounced. So I think the bottom is in on oil. But that said, I can only find one country in the world amongst major suppliers, and we're talking probably 25 countries where production went down last year. Libya. And the problem was Libya's civil war, so that's the reason.
Okay.
So it was all across the board. It didn't matter if it was Canada, U.S., Russia, Saudis, Nigeria, Algeria, China. Everybody ramped up because a lot of those countries need balance of payments. They only generate revenues from oil. So the oil glut is the big negative, I think, hanging over the commodity market.
Hey, thanks for doing this, Mickey.
All right, thanks
a lot.
Good to see you, James.
Take care.
And,
enjoy the show.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.